did not plan this very well. Oh my lord. Ugh. I was just showing off my box collection, and I realized I could make a quick video showing off my EAS collection, and God, this is heavy. How's it going, YouTube? This is Skull, and this is my collection of EastAsiaSoft Switch games. I'm very proud to talk about this for a number of reasons. As some of you may know, I actually work for EastAsiaSoft. I stream on their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/EastAsiaSoft, 3 times a week on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. And if any of you are interested in watching, we could always use more viewers. And as part of compensation for my work, they actually send me free games whenever there's a new one that gets physically released. But I need to make it clear, I would probably be getting every single one of these releases anyway, even if I wasn't employed by them. EastAsiaSoft makes some high quality releases, and every single release has a limited collector's edition that is only a few dollars more. I think the most expensive game in any of this is only 35 or 40 bucks, which is a lot cheaper than some of the competitors' games can be for even the standard releases. And EAS only releases a few games a year instead of like 3 a week, so it makes it pretty easy to collect them. And finally, I've decided, you know what, enough talking about my collection, let's show my collection. Got some PS5 games here, which I'll save for the end of the video, so if you don't care about it, then you don't have to watch. How many games are in here, actually? All the way up through number 37. I feel like there's more than that. No, we're at 37. Okay. Oh, there's one more back here. Just have to remember to put it back there when I'm done. Number 38. Okay, we're up to 38 releases. I could have waited till we were at a round number like 40, but I just couldn't bother. Anyway, EAS's very first Switch game, Dimension Drive. This is a shmup game, and it's a whole lot of fun. If I haven't played a game, I'll not give a comment on it, but if I have, then I'll give a short comment. RXN Raijin. I have not played this. Shikondo, Soul Eater. I have not played this either. Reverie, Sweet As Edition. This is a fun game. This is, how do I describe this? This is like an RPG. This is in the same style as something like, say, Earthbound. It's a very charming game, and highly recommended if you like old school, simple RPGs. Oniken plus Odalus. I have not played this either. And I call myself an employee. Pato Box. Have not played this, but this looks to be a fighting game. Look at that. It's like a black and white fighting game in a 3D environment. That looks really interesting, actually. I should try that. Death Road to Canada. This one's interesting. It's kind of like the Oregon Trail on steroids. Every time you play it, your game will only last a few minutes unless you get super lucky. It's a really interesting game. Yeah, the Oregon Trail on steroids. That's the best way I can describe it. Ghost Blade HD. This is another shmup, and this is a whole lot of fun. I love the art style, and I love the 3 characters. Their ships control differently, as all shmups do. Distraint Collection. Have not played this either. Moiro Crystal H. This is a, I think this is like a JRPG / dungeon crawler sort of a thing. I've played it. I don't remember anything about it, which is almost worse than saying I haven't played it, huh? Murder by Numbers. This one's a whole lot of fun. What kind of game is this called? Nonogram. That's what it's called. Nonogram, where you try and line up numbers. So this is a nonogram game, and if you don't know what that is, then Google it. But trust me, this is a whole lot of fun. It's rated E for everyone. It is, even though it says murder in the title, it is a very family-friendly game. This is perfectly fine. This was the very first game I ever played to completion on behalf of EastAsiaSoft. And man, it's a whole lot of fun. Definitely one of my top games from them. I'll just go ahead and get these 3 games out of the way here. These are 3 games that I did not get the deluxe edition for. Golly. Panty Party. I have not played this, allegedly. I will not confirm or deny. Seabed. This is a visual novel, but it's one of those where you don't pick a route or anything. You just play it through from beginning to end. It's just a story, and it's a beautiful story. It's actually a really sad story to me too. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was nice playing through this. Ghost 1.0. Have not played this. Okay, back to the limited editions. Pararumi. I feel like I've played this, but I don't remember anything about it. Looks like it's another shmup. This doesn't have a limited number on it. Is that because... Yeah, this is interesting. So this is one of the sample copies that I have. So every single limited release from EAS has a number on the back to denote which number it is out of the like 3,000 they make. So this next one, for example, is number 13. But Powerumi is interesting because it does not have a number on it. This is a sample copy, which is only given to employees. I think they only make like 2 of these total. So this is a literal one-of-a-kind item in my collection. The next game is my favorite game ever from EastAsiaSoft. This is If My Heart Had Wings. This is a visual novel. It's a really high-quality visual novel too. I love it a lot, and I highly recommend this. This is just such a beautiful game, such a sweet story, and has something like 5 routes, something like that. So you will never be bored. Scourgebringer, I might have played this. I don't remember anything about it. Senses, a cyberpunk ghost story. This is a dark game. I don't know if I'd call it horror. It's like a dark cyberpunk game. It's an RPG sort of a thing. Really interesting game. I'm not a fan of like borderline horror games, but this one had me hooked. Empire of Angels 4. Now this is a Chinese role-playing game. As I recall, I actually managed to softlock myself in this about 6 hours in, so that's my biggest memory of it. Trigger Witch. This is a dual-stick shooter game slash RPG. I played this through to completion earlier this year. This was the very first game that I completed. 2023. This is 2024 now. Anyway, this was the very first game I completed in 2023. Kind of a fun game. Of course it's a fun game. It actually is a fun game. I'm not saying kinda. It is a fun game. Smashing the Battle, Ghost Soul. I don't think I played it. Wait, have I? I might have played this. I don't remember. The Letter, a horror visual novel. It is indeed a visual novel. This one is fully voice acted. It is a horror story. I ended up getting the bad ending, so I never finished it. But it is very intriguing. It definitely catches your attention. Love Esquire, another visual novel, although this one is more of a dating simulator, and this is the funniest video game I have ever played, and I'm not saying that lightly. There are so many lines and so many funny characters in this. It's a super, super funny story. Love Kami Trilogy, a trilogy of games from the same people that made If My Heart Had Wings. All 3 are visual novels. They're a lot shorter than If My Heart Had Wings. 7 Pirates H. I have not played this, and now that I look at the back, I can see why. Omen of Sorrow. This is actually a fighting game. This is like a fighting game in the same style as Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. You know, a one-on-one fighting game. I remember this got a whole lot of hype when it released. I suck at fighting games, so I sucked at that one, but hey, if you love fighting games, it's actually a really solid modern entry into the franchise, or into the genre. Rush Rally Collection. This is 2 games from Rush Rally. They're both racing games, and they're both really good racing games. One's like an arcade racer, and one's more of a real-life simulation racer. Red Colony Trilogy. Trilogy of games I have not played yet. Looking at the back, I could see why. Not for kids, let's just put it that way. Sea Horizon. This is a strategy game. Sort of like a tabletop figurine game, but it's played in-game, obviously. I know a lot of people like that one. Twin Blades of the Three Kingdoms. This is a game that feels like it's a classic JRPG from like the 90s or something like that. Super fun, like straight up a JRPG game. Mugen Souls. This is, I believe, originally a PS3 game. It got ported to Switch, and this is a whole lot of fun. This is an RPG game, has a whole lot of really high quality animation and voice acting, a whole lot of fun to play. Senses Midnight, a sequel to Senses. I'm assuming that it's very similar to the other one, a dark cyberpunk RPG. Mugen Soul Z, which is actually a sequel to Mugen Souls. Very much the same way. This is such a charming game. These kinds of games are so charming to me. Whole lot of fun. Just realized there's a lot of wrinkling plastic in the background, sorry. Sword and Fairy Inn. This is a restaurant simulation game, and it's a whole lot more fun than I expected it would be. If any of you are familiar with the Sword and Fairy games, they're a series of Chinese RPGs, and this is a spin-off of them, but again, this is a restaurant simulator, and I had way more fun with that than I ever expected I would. The last one in here is The Bridge Curse, Road to Salvation, which is, it's an RPG, I think is the best way to describe it. It's a horror game, but it's more of a horror in the sense of following the story instead of like jump scares and stuff like that. So I was able to play through most of it and get really close to the end before I quit. And the most recent EAS game, which I will show off in my game pickups video next, is Double D Collection. Wow, can't imagine what this is about. And I'll go ahead and show off all 5 of my PS5 games as well. All 5 of these got a Switch release as well, so anyway. The very first one they released was Trigger Witch, and this actually has a 120 FPS mode on PS5. Number 2, Omen of Sorrow, again, fighting game, solid 60 FPS there. Reverie, Sweet As Edition, another one with a 120 Hz mode. Senses Midnight was number 4, and number 5 was The Bridge Curse. In fact, when I played through the game, it was the PS5 version. Still shrink wrapped because they give me digital codes. I also have a lot of PS4 games, and I think even 1 or 2 Vita games from EAS, but I'm not going to bother showing those off in this video because they're somewhere in that pile of boxes, and I do not want to sift through all of those to find them. This video was mostly just to show off all of the Switch releases from EAS so far. There's a lot of these are actually still available in standard edition, and a few of them are even still available as the limited edition collector's editions. They come with CDs and art books and fun extras like that. So if you're interested in any of those, EastAsiaSoft releases are sold exclusively through PlayAsia.com. Head on over there and maybe buy a game or two that you saw that you think you might like. Of course, make sure to follow us over on Twitch at twitch.tv/EastAsiaSoft. Again, stream 3 days a week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Oftentimes I play games before they're officially released. If you own any EastAsiaSoft games, then please leave a comment letting me know what you have. We've got actually quite a few games that I didn't show off in this video that are going to be releasing all throughout 2024 and beyond, so make sure to head over to PlayAsia.com/exclusives and check out all of our EAS games that are coming up for sale. That'll bring this video to an end. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.